What is the easiest way to make money in crypto if you're risk adverse? Let's talk. Welcome back to Key Talks, guys. So today in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 easy ways to get into crypto if you're risk adverse and you don't actually want to buy cryptocurrency. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, the number one reason why people just don't invest is because they're scared. And I get it. It's your hard-earned money. Who wants to go to work 9 to 5, very hard, take all that money, dump it into something that, might get stolen or might just go to zero? What's the point of doing that? When you're working so hard for your money, it makes sense that you want to make sure that you want to preserve that amount of money. Now, for a lot of people, they just save their money in cash and leave it in a savings account because they feel like that's the best way to be very risk adverse. Now, that being said, yes, it's important to have an emergency fund or a savings account with cash in it because you're saving some, money for a goal or something. But at the same time, it's not a smart idea because cash is a devaluing asset, right? The value of cash is always going down every single year, especially because of inflation. So then the question becomes, okay, so what do you do now? Right? How do you invest into other assets, yet being risk adverse? So first things first, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going to talk about what I've done as someone who's been risk adverse in the past. So what I've done was, obviously I need cash in the bank account for savings, right? In case I want to buy a car or get married or buy a house or anything at all, right? And just for emergency. So I have that right there. I have an emergency fund, and yeah, I do have cash in my savings account. Now, outside of that, other amounts of money that I save, instead of putting it into that, there's actually 3 different things that you can put your money into, especially if it's crypto related and you were interested in getting into that field. So there's actually 3 different things that you can put your money into. And of course, the things I'm going to be talking about is how you can put money into crypto in a risk adverse way. Now, number 1 is just buying a Bitcoin ETF. So for a lot of people out there, they already have a tax-free savings account or a Roth IRA or any of these registered accounts. And what you can simply do is, as long as it's self-directed, you can actually put that money into a fund, a mutual fund, index fund, or anything like that. And that way you can have your money invested in the markets and you can actually earn some kind of growth every single year, whether it's like the typical 12% a year or 15 or 20, depending on what you're actually investing in. Usually when it comes to ETFs, it might be usually less than what an index fund will return, but on average, if you have your money invested in these different industries, it's going to give you a conviction that you're at least invested in something versus being invested in nothing. Now, I'm going to go over some of the popular Bitcoin ETFs that you can actually get into. I just brought up some ETFs that you can actually own Bitcoin with. So by buying these ETFs hold Bitcoin. So Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is one. You can use this website here. It's buybitcoinworldwide.com. And by going onto these sites, you can see a list of them and pick any one that you want. So the one that I have is BTCC. It's by Purpose Investments. It's over here. So it's alternative ETFs, and they actually hold Bitcoins in the fund. It is an ETF, and the management fee is only 1%. And the good thing about that is, compared to mutual funds, they trade at like 2 or 3%. I know this is a lot higher than index funds, but it is still pretty good considering it's a fund. Now, another way that you can actually invest in crypto in a very risk-adverse way is actually just buying public companies that actually own Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Even though you're buying a stock, which is what a public company is, and you're not actually directly buying Bitcoin, at the end of the day, because they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, they're showing that they have an asset that will grow, and when Bitcoin goes up, their amount on their balance sheet will also go up. So because of that, the overall company's valuation should be slightly higher. So here is bitcointreasuries.net. It's a website where you can see a bunch of public companies that are actually holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So MicroStrategy is one of them. The current market cap is listed here, and it even tells you how much Bitcoin they actually bought. So he says here they have about 114,000 Bitcoins. You can see Tesla, Square, and a bunch of other ones. Now, you do have to make sure that you're understanding what you're investing into when you are buying these companies, because you're not just buying Bitcoin, you're actually buying a company that generates revenue and profit. And those are the things you should be looking at first. And of course, the third way to get into crypto in a very risk-adverse way. And now this does have a little bit more added risk, but it's still risk-adverse, and I'll explain how that is. So there's something called stablecoins, and if you haven't watched my video on stablecoins, you can watch it up here. I'll make sure the link is up there for you guys to go ahead and click that, and you can watch my video on stablecoins. Now, in that video, I go over how stablecoins are just like a cryptocurrency that is pegged to the US dollar, and how they're pegged is that by holding a basket of goods, usually either US dollars or bonds or something that will correlate to the price of the dollar. This way, that peg never gets unbalanced, and the peg will always stay 1-to-1 with the actual US dollar. And by actually buying those US dollars, you can open up savings accounts with companies like Celsius and BlockFi. Now, both of these companies have registered with the SEC, and BlockFi has even been raised capital in the American market, and both of them are pretty reputable companies out of all the ones that I've seen out there. Now, by opening up accounts with both of these companies, you can actually earn up to like 9%, 10%, sometimes 13% interest APY on your stablecoin. So just think about that for a second, right? When you go to a bank account and you open up a savings account, you're earning less than 1%, right, per year on the money that you have in your savings account. But if you just convert that into a stablecoin and then put that into these interest accounts, you're actually earning 10%. That's 10 times, and it's APY. So that means it's compounded annually. That's insane. So make sure you guys watch that video that I posted up. It will teach you so much about how to invest into these stable coins and how to earn the interest properly. So as you can see here, I'm on the Celsius website right here. There's going to be a link in the description below, so you can go ahead and click it. You can earn 17% APY, guys. So it says right here, stablecoins. Stablecoins are a digital asset tied to fiat currency, such as the US dollar, and have relatively low volatility, pretty much zero. There's a bunch of different stablecoins. Ones that I like are GUSD and USDC. GUSD because it's created by the Winklevoss twin brothers, and they have a product called Gemini, and USDC is an American company, Circle. So they're a lot more trustworthy than the popular USDT, but as you can see on the right hand side, all of them pay 10%. There are other ones like a gold token. It's kind of like buying a gold ETF, but you can also earn interest on it, which is at 5.5%. And of course, there's a bunch of other cryptocurrencies here you can see as well. But like I was saying, if you want to be risk adverse, sometimes the best thing to do is just buy the stablecoin. You can earn that 10% a year and you're good. Like I said, it isn't easy at all to invest in crypto, especially when you're very risk adverse. It can be very daunting and scary at times, but the most important thing to understand is there are ways to invest in a very risk adverse manner. You don't have to go all in. Of course, there are certain things you need to understand. Like if you're buying a Bitcoin ETF, you need to understand the Bitcoin cycle, right? Well, if you don't know what that is, there's a cycle that explains how Bitcoin has a bull market and a bear market, and there's something called a halving, and that's when all the Bitcoins get twice as hard to mine. And after that period is when Bitcoin goes into what you call a bull market and it starts going up. But then after it hits a certain peak, that's based on the stock to flow model, and the prices aren't guaranteed. It's just an estimate, right? Based on that growth potential. After that, it crashes and it stays in a bear market for several years. So if you're buying at the top of the bull market, then you're only going to hate Bitcoin because the Bitcoin ETF that you bought isn't doing well at all for that period of the bear market. And so at this point, you have to understand when are you buying it and then how to invest in these ETFs. And the best thing to do is just dollar cost average. I really hope that you guys actually learned something from this video. Please comment below if you have any questions. I'll make sure to reach out to you guys and to answer any questions that you have. Please like this video, so hit that subscribe button so this content will get reached out to a bunch of other people and they can also learn and join our community. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully I can reach that soon. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Take care.